and good to be here with another show of English on at DC Live. Right, great. So I have Srilekha as well here. Srilekha, hi, very good afternoon to you, and
Very good afternoon, Savan sir. Very good
very,
afternoon, Rashmi. Hi.
and good
Hello,
afternoon.
ma'am. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to Rashmi as well. So, as I just mentioned, we are back with another show, right? So, the objective of these kind of shows is that, uh, uh, right, it's always whether detach was there or it's happening, or maybe it's in the interim break at this point of time. It's always like English is such a language, you need to be in touch with this language. So, if you have mastered that, then it's a different thing. But even then, you have to keep doing something in regard with this language so that you can keep on improving in this particular language, because this is not our native language for sure. This is not a mother tongue, right? And so the more you are in that particular zone, you keep on improving, right? So with that, welcome everybody. I'm sure there will be some listeners from various centers who will be listening in, and apart from that, definitely we have Rashmi, and also Sri Lekha will promise that she will also share and jump in and share her thoughts as well. Okay, so if you remember the previous week, right? So the previous week we discussed about how can one improve this particular language, right? So we didn't talk about see, we didn't talk about a training, or we didn't talk about post training, or we didn't talk about interim training. See, someone who wants to improve this language, right? How can he or she can improve this language? So we talked about those aspects. We can definitely do that as a revision at the end of this particular session, right? But we also, what we did, we spoke about that. We also spoke about few aspects of the tools, or maybe the four facets of any language and tools as well. So the four facet of any language, we spoke about listening, speaking, uh, reading, and writing as well. So we covered the first two, listening and speaking. So we will talk about a bit of reading and writing, right? And how this is important and why this is important, and what are the things one can do to improve these facets of the language as well, right? And as promised, right, because DC Live and Sri Lanka also wanted, right, we play some songs. So we have some lovely songs as well today. It's again from the 90s, so please don't tell me why it is from 90s. So we will try and play some more songs of the latest as well. But see, DC Live, in any case, they play a lot of latest and hip hop songs. Even now, what it was playing was very good, right? So we will listen into these 90s. So I've got three songs. Let's see how much time we have. We will play that, and all these three songs has lyrics as well, right? So this is another great way of learning as well. So fabulous. So let's begin. So the first thing is like as discussed, we are talking about the four facets. We completed two, so we are going to talk about the reading, right? So which is very important and essential tool as well. So Rashmi, what are your thoughts about reading? Do you think it is important tool, and do you think one should read? And so how can one, by reading, what are the tools which is available, what can one read? So what are your thoughts about that?
Yes, sir. First of all, I in the previous session also I told that I am not much into reading,
Yeah.
but reading is important for to improve our language. First, we should have that interest in reading. For reading many storybooks and novels, or yes, these things are available. But what we are interested in, that we have to read, then only it will motivate, or it will encourage us to read more. So I'm not interested in reading novels and all, but I like to read that kids storybooks.
Yeah.
I Because that colorful pictures and those things that attract me more, so I read that. And for reading, so we have to replace our native language with English reading. So wherever we see the board, it will be in Kannada. I'm telling about my state. In
Hmm.
Kannada also, they will write in Kannada also in English also. But first, what I was doing is, first I was reading Kannada words only. That same, for example, Samsung. They are writing in English and same Samsung in Kannada also. But first I was reading Samsung in Kannada.
Okay.
Then I was reading the Samsung what is writing in English. But nowadays I am reading first English whatever they're writing in English first, that I'm reading first. This is the one thing we can include while reading, because if we see start reading in our native language itself, then we're not able to get that English reading letters, right? So what we are reading, okay, this is only wrote in English, like that. We will think and we will leave that word there itself. So we have to replace our native language with English reading. And for book reading, that I already mentioned, that will improve our language skill. And while watching and while reading also, we have, if we read aloud, then I have heard that, I don't know, but it will improve our language skills. While my teacher, while teaching the English language, she also told that while you are reading, you have to read aloud. Then only your language will improve.
Absolutely. Very well shared. A lot of experiences, a lot of what you have gone through, and real experience as well. And so let's take the last part. Maybe we can come later. Reading out loud. Why should we do that? Okay. So as Rashmi pointed out, this is very essential and tool, right? And so I would also equate that with listening as well, because these are the two, what do you call, inputs, if I want to call it, right? So because why it is input? Because listening is like an input, because somebody is speaking, or there is something which is playing, and so you're able to hear through your yeah, the organ, right, the sensory organs, and then your mind is processing. So that is what it is. It's more of an input. And similarly, your reading as well, because so for reading it's much easier. As Rashi pointed out, you don't need actually a device, a digital device. You can read a book, or maybe any paper or any stuff, right? So which can be done, right? So that is what it is. So it is also an input thing. It's not an output like in writing or maybe speaking. So that's a kind of a difference as well. But again, it is as important as your listening. Why it is so important? Because the literature available in reading is like plenty. It's like an ocean again. And so it also depends on what you like and what you want to read, right? And so again, let's go back to our every crewmate. See, if we talk about Desi crew, so we all are graduates, right? So that's the reason why we are here. So I'm sure we would have had even if it was like we had our course in maybe Kannada or maybe in Tamil, but we still had that one language which is English, and we have been used to reading the literature right from our LKG and till our schooling and college and stuff like that. So reading is something we are pretty used to. How much we are reading, that's a different thing, right? How much is the interest, that's a different thing, right? But we are very much used to it. So that is one part. Second part is like, what's your interest, right? So everybody have different interests. There are some who read, there are some who don't read, right? So we can't definitely force them, but you need to keep your objective in mind. What is your objective? Where do you want to go, right? Do I want to become better in this language? Do I want to have a bigger vocabulary? Do I want to have something which will assist me to become a better speaker as well? See, the reading, you might think, okay, I'm reading, how will it help me in speaking? How will it help me in writing? It's all connected, right? What you read, it's a kind of a style of writing, right? A lot of vocabulary word which comes in, right? These vocabulary words will help you if you take that extra pain to go and check what's the meaning of this, right? It will help you to become a better speaker. You will be able to use those words, right? You will be able to use that particular word when you write. So this is how everything, like our body, everything is connected with our body, isn't it? You can't say that my hand is a bit different. It's like different. My leg is different. My head is a different department. No, it doesn't work that way. So similarly, all these four facets will help you to become better in this particular language, which is English. So coming back to your interest, right? We all have different interests. Like Rashmi said, even I'm not a very big book reader. Right. Recently, I was in ashram, right, in Pondicherry. There are a lot of books which we picked up, but picking up is very easy. We pick up the books, then it keeps lying, right? So that is there. But I've taken some effort to read some book. I'm sure Sri Lekha will agree that Past Forward, which we got during that St. George Fort trip. So that book, almost I've read it, and few other books I read it recently. But if it's not your forte, if you don't like, right, then probably what you do is like pick up something which is interesting to you. We all have interests. If somebody says that I wake up, I do my stuff, I work, and then I go to bed, right? If you do it for some time, maybe during some busy schedule, you can do that. But if whatever, if we do it every day, anyone will go on mad, right? So this is what it is. You will have a lot of these stuffs which you do as your maybe in your spare time, which is an entertainment quotient for you. It could be a hobby, it could be a lot of other things. So if you can add a little bit of reading into it, so that will do wonders to you, right? So one thing, if you're not into book reading, don't worry about that. What you can do is like you have the print, the news reading is like reading the newspaper. If you get right, that's one big tool which we, if you want to use it, you will see a huge change in that. Because if you get newspaper, somebody who's seriously into it, it doesn't cost that much, right? It's not like 20,000, 30,000 subscription for every month and all. Not even 300 rupees, I believe. Times of India or maybe Hindu in TN. It may be probably in Karnataka as well. You subscribe to this newspaper. Once you have, you don't have to read the entire thing. Once you get it, it'll be very picturesque. You will have your headlines, right? If you don't like those headlines, then probably get into the sports part. If you don't like to know about the sports part, get into your city, what is happening in your city. If you don't like that, get into science and technology. There will be a lot of stuff. If you don't like, if you are into spiritual thing, there's a spiritual column as well where somebody have written something, right? And so newspaper is something which will tell you what is happening around me. Even if you go to a TV channel, at one point of time, it will not give you everything. But the newspaper, which you have 20 or 30 odd pages, which will have everything covered. See, suppose you want to know what is happening in your, we call it here, what do you call Telugu films? Not Telugu, Kannada. Kollywood, is it? Kollywood.
Hollywood, sir.
No, Hollywood is like they're in Western thing, right?
English.
Yeah. So here, so all the Kollywood.
Sandalwood.
Sandalwood, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So all the see, even you get that extra column where it's about like movies, which actor interview, which actors interview. If you are into that, nothing wrong in that. But take that into take that into an thing you want to read about that particular actor and actress, right? That is catering to your interest as well, but you're reading and you'll come across various vocabulary, which is something, a tool for you, which will help you. One. Second, another very important thing is like you will have the fitness thing. You will have about the cooking thing in the extra shade. You will have about travel stuff. You will have about something else as well. So the newspaper is great. So you have a lot of online subscription as well, right? If you don't want the digital one, right, you can go for the online one. Or if you want just free, you can just go and browse free as well. You'll get the entire thing at one shot. And this is where what will happen is like, because a writer, see, think there is a journalist or maybe someone who writes for a newspaper. They will not take some article here and there and then print it. This will be a very good, well written article. It doesn't mean that it's all like Shashi Tharoor English. I don't know if anybody knows about Shashi Tharoor. If he speaks, nobody will understand what is he speaking, but you need to have a dictionary, right? So he's a Congress MP. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
not, I'm talking about those kind of language, simple language, but written in a different way, right? What are these words which will help you, which will become a vocabulary tool for you? So this is what a newspaper reading will do. or right. So if you're not into books is great, right? So that is what one can do. So because if you do it on a regular basis, regular, I'm not saying that you do it every day for 1 hour, even 15 minutes, start with 15 minutes or maybe 20 minutes on a serious note, right? Where you want to do, if don't mind if you have missed couple of days, don't worry about that, right? At least weekly 4 days, and you will get used to it, right? You will be very you will start liking that particular task, and keep your objective in the mind, because you want to improve your language. And then what happens is it becomes a routine, right? For those who have been into reading newspaper for a long time, you can ask them, you can certainly ask me, if you don't get the newspaper in the morning, no, you feel like, okay, some part of my routine is missing. I just want to know what's happening and stuff like that. So this is a great thing. So read whatever you have, read any material, and there are a lot of material. So one is like print, we spoke about the books, right, which is printed form, newspaper and stuff like that, which is again in a printed form. But you have a lot of this digital stuff as well. So there's nothing wrong in using the digital stuff as well. Read something, and if there are some vocabulary words which you don't understand, take it and find the meaning, right? And you write it and make sentence, and then go and visit the same thing what we do in the class as well. Go and see those vocabulary words. Do you remember? I remember it today. Do I remember after a week's time? Do I remember after a month's time? Right? See it a couple of times, then you have. And these words will automatically come when you write something, or when you want to, when you're speaking with someone. So that is one, right? So so one thing is like book. If there are some who are into book, and if I'm sure Rashmi and Sri Lekha, they are aware of it. We share this thing in the class as well. There is something known as pdfdrive.com. So you don't have to go and buy this books, right? It is available free. So today is a world where there are a lot of stuff which is available absolutely free. All you need is a smart device. It could be a laptop or maybe a mobile, and also internet, of course. And what you need is like also time and the interest. So if you have that, you can do wonders, right, in terms of learning anything. So if you see, this is the stuff which is pdfdrive.com. So what you got to do here is like just click in, and you will see these many categories of books, and there are so many books as well, right? So you can search for books, you can search for tutorials, you can search for manuals, you can search for and search according to the authors as well. And there are this many files which is available, right? As of today, they have so many. It goes into lakhs, right? Ebooks which is available, which is absolutely free to be downloaded. So this is what it is. So if you just see in one thing, like this fiction and literature, see, even if you have young ones, no, who are very young, so I'll tell something for that as well. See, here it is. So if you I was just seeing before this session, I just wanted to share this, and saw this and wanted to click on fiction, what they have. So a well-known writer, Chetan Bhagat, right? I'm sure we all know about him. And his books are there. There are plenty of books, actually. There is Three Mistakes of My Life by Chetan Bhagat. There is another one, right? One Indian Girl, Chetan Bhagat, right? There, Warren Buffett, right? Great investor, right? There are plenty of them which you will have. Of course, you can't read everything at one go, but it's always nice you pick one book for a month and probably spend some time, and you will start loving it, right? Something which will probably change your life or give you some thoughts or something or other, right? If you're traveling, you can probably keep some. It's not wise to read books while you're traveling, especially in bus and stuff like that. You will have headache or maybe eye issues and all. But even a couple of pages here and there every day will do wonders, right? So this is one. So if you also see children and youth, I spoke about. See, as elders, what is that we can give to our kids, right? Many of the crewmates are married. If you're not married, you will have your niece or nephew or maybe others who are nearby or maybe neighborhood. Tell them these are the things, right? There are a lot of these stuff which is available. If you have this foundation at the very early age, your language would be pretty. You will have a language which is command over the English, which will come very easy to you, right? So this is what it is, because see, we all crewmates, we talk whatever, any company, leave about Desi crew. This language is something which the more you have good skills in this language, it's only going to help you. Sometime in meetings, it's all about how you're able to share what you know, right? And probably you have to do it in this language, right? Or maybe if you have to write something, probably how you can write. If you have to create something, how you can create, right? And if you want to talk with someone, right, how you can speak, right? So the more you know about this language, it's only good for you, right? And if especially in the learning curve, there's no harm taking this thing, right? So especially for our kids, young ones, see, there is a lot of books on for them as well, on becoming baby wise, right? Or maybe Sherp Herding a Child's Heart by Ted Tripp, right? I'm sure there are a lot of them. You may not like everything, right? 101 healing stories for kids and teens. As Rashmi also pointed out, the young ones, those kind of books, right? So I hope Rashmi also remembers one thing where we used to do English and 8. Those time Yashashvi was the captain. We used to have this
Ye-
lot of, yeah, you remember?
story videos,
Yeah,
and one article, not
absolutely.
article, story,
Story.
yes,
Story, the moral story. So the
yes, sir.
simple moral story, the story would be like very, very simple. There were four cows and they were all friendly and grazing happily. Lion used to come, and then they used to scare the lion away, right? But they had a quarrel and they all went their own way. The lion came and ate them one by one. Why? Right? What's the moral? So these kind of stories as well, you will find it, right? And sometimes you might think it's a small kiddish kid story book, right? But you will be able to receive, you will be able to gain a lot of things, a lot of information, a lot of vocabulary words. You'll not believe, when we used to make that English at 8, there are a lot of vocabulary words, no, which was very, very tiny, but good vocabulary words to know as well, right? So those are the things. So reading is fabulous. We'll come back, and it's already, we said we will play song. It's almost going to be 25, 22 minutes. So we will listen into an song. If you're here, you can see it as well. So so I will play a song. We played In Sync last week, so we'll play Westlife, right? And this is again in 90s. Beautiful song. This is about season and seasons, I should say, and it has got lyrics as well. So you can watch the lyrics. It's a beautiful song, very, very melodious. And this is an Irish band, right? And very lovely music as well. So we'll listen in and we'll come back and we'll continue this. Okay, so welcome back. I hope you all would have loved this song. Westlife, Rashmi, have you heard this song before?
No, sir.
Okay. So again, way back in 90s, I'm not too sure about Sri Lekha, right? Because she said the NSYNC, right? The Backstreet Boy, she knows. So right, so great one. They have a lot of melodious song, and this is how the melody of all the songs you will have. You'll not have heavy band and stuff like that. Very melodious, very meaningful songs as well. So this is one song which talks about actually the journey of their life in terms of seasons, right? So a beautiful one. And
And while reading, while watching, if we watch song for the first time, that time it's difficult to follow the lyrics with along with them, because I noticed singing in the sky.
yeah,
So they are telling sing in the sky like that. They're telling.
yeah,
We pronounce like we continuously read, right?
yeah,
Singing in the sky like that we read, but there is sing in the sky like that. In that they will silent there
correct, correct.
thinking.
Correct. It's also according to the song as well, Rashmi, because see, some words, no, they will try to drag that word. so that
Oh,
it falls into the music, right?
okay.
So you would have seen in Telugu or maybe Kannada or maybe Tamil as well, some words they will drag it. So usually when they talk, they will say singing, right? But when they are singing, so
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
yeah, right. So that way it is, and so because they have to, it has to fit into the tune and stuff like that.
If
So
you watch that song three times or four times, then we can also follow the same.
you can also
Yes,
follow, absolutely, and that is one, and also you will get used to the accent as well, Rashmi, isn't it?
yes, sir.
Okay, because they are not an Indian man, they are from Europe, Ireland, right? And so you will get used to their
There
accent as
answer.
well. And if you see some movie which is from not from India, from Hollywood and other places, you will understand that as well. So you're doing a great justice to your actually skills, right? And that is precisely what it is. And songs are the best way to learn as well. So there are many who love song, and songs are best because it relaxes you. It's short, it's not long, and so you can listen multiple times as well, right? And these are the great advantage. As Rashmi said, one or two times you watch it with the lyrics, with the help of lyrics, so you will get to know all this. Sometimes, as Rashmi was mentioning, simple words as well, they will sing in a way where you will not understand what they are singing. So that one time or couple of times, if you do it with the lyrics, so that's a great advantage, and then you know this particular song. So I hope our listeners will be able to listen into them or maybe other bands as well. So great. So let's keep on continuing where we left. So one thing is like still into reading. So one thing Rashmi also mentioned about reading out loud as far as reading is concerned, and so she also said probably why, right? What's a benefit and what will happen and stuff like that. Why do you think, Rashmi? I think you didn't know the answer, right? But why should one read loud? I think you will get the answer.
Sir, for the improve the pronunciation.
Improve the pronunciation, very important, right? See, especially when you read in your mind, no, what happens is that it's a bit easier because you feel that okay, it's not a tongue twister, or it's very easy and simple stuff, we will be able to read it. But when you are speaking in front of others, right, when you're talking to someone, and when you use this word, you might sometime find it difficult,
Yes,
right? I find it still difficult, right? Especially when you're doing front ending an event, right? Especially you're doing an MC or probably doing something in front of a crowd and stuff like that. It's always, suppose you have a script. See, a lot of things is spontaneous. You don't have a script, so that is another beauty as well, right? You go with the flow, like our last session as well. More of this session, we are going with the flow, but we have a concept in place. So one is like a prepared one. So prepared one is always best you go through the words and read out loud. This is for, I'm talking about the presentation and stuff like that. But other than that as well, if you're a learner, if you're a bit early, right, it's always good to read out loud. So we say to the young ones as well, read out loud, right? Remember when we were young, we used
sir.
to tell.
During our school days, till my college days also, our lecturers were asking us to read the lesson one line for one paragraph, one by
Correct,
one. It will start from first bench, first student, or otherwise last bench. Like that.
correct,
That time we were afraid to read,
correct,
but it will really improve our pronunciation.
correct.
I agree that.
Absolutely. Read out loud. Yeah, absolutely. During the school, and maybe not much in college, but it happens. Some of the professors, they
Yes,
definitely do, and definitely, yeah, we used to get scared as well.
yes,
I used to get scared. See, even I didn't learn it in a proper way. Nobody taught me. I studied from actually a very good school in terms of phonics, in terms of a lot of other things, in terms of the grammar stuffs and all, right? And so you used to get scared when you're reading term. It used to
yes.
come.
Till my college days also.
Okay, right. And sometimes what happens, no, they will have their routine. So sometime it will go in sequence, one, two, three. Everybody will read two lines, and suddenly they will stop and say, "You read."
Yes.
right? Those days as well. We sometimes we are blank. It's not my row. What is happening? So all those,
Because we are not looking into our books. Sometimes we are
yeah,
talking each other. That time suddenly teacher will ask us to read. That time.
correct. So these are the fun, right, moments, and I'm sure there are plenty in our school and college life. That's why we keep cherishing school and college life. Okay, so this is one benefit for reading out loud, especially the young ones. They can read loud, or maybe if you're learning, you want to keep on getting better. If you read out loud, there's a huge benefit because the pronunciation, the way it comes, if you don't know the pronunciation as well, you can go and check the pronunciation as well. We can probably do it in the next class, right? All the dictionary, or maybe even in Google handy, put in the word and it will give you the pronunciation. So this is about the reading. Right. So let's move into the last bit, which is the last facet, which I feel is also the toughest one as well, right? Which is writing. So yes. So Rashmi, what's your thoughts about writing? Is it important? And if it is so, why it is important? What one can do to improve writing? And so, what are your thoughts? What are the tools which is available for writing? Yeah.
Sir, for writing, I would like to recall our English sessions.
Yeah.
So in 301, we are giving one word or one word vocabulary word we are giving, and we are asking our students to frame a sentence based on their vocabulary word, so that they are writing some sentence on that word. And also we are giving one topic, so they have to write one story, or they have to create their fictional story, or something they have to do for writing. So these things I would like to recall, because 301 is the final stage in English skills. So in four facets, this is the final. Correct, no, sir. Writing is the final facet. So, if but most of us struggle to uh, complete this stage, because I am also that not that much improved in at this stage. So I am telling, this is a very important. If we clear this stage, then we can write our own stories, not that much that for papers and all, but we can our I'm not getting how to say.
So I think you mean to say if you write those. See, there are two things, Rashmi, you're talking about. See, vocabulary we start from 101 itself,
um,
right? So you talking about the writing task which we give for
yes.
301s, right? So that is a bit different. And so as Rashmi said, vocabulary is the best way to start actually writing. Vocabulary, right? If you're not in training session, like when it happens, you don't have to wait for a training session to happen. Pick up some particular word, right, and make a sentence as simple as season. If you think that I need to start from beginning, or maybe at a scale which is slightly on the lower end, right, start with season. So what do you want to write about season? Start with small thing, make a sentence, and see whether are you able to write it, and just see whether you can make it start writing bigger sentences, right? Then so that is what it is. There are some who will make very small and tiny and very miserly sentence as well. That is not going to help you. Very safe sentence, right? You can make big sentences as well. So the vocabulary, what Rashmi mentioned, is like it's a vocab time we call. We do it throughout the stuff, 101 especially, and 201 as well, and for 301, but we do that, right? But one another thing she mentioned is also the writing task, right? So even for vocabulary, it's always nice if you can write something and show it to someone, right, who has a better language ability, who will help you to fine tune that. So sometimes your language is there, or maybe rather than language, your thoughts is there, but how do you frame into a sentence that probably may not fit into the grammar part, or maybe the language part, or maybe the English rules part, right? So that is where one can mend one. Second is like also enhance your writing, right? Enhance your writing. Why not use this one? Why use this particular style? why not you start with this one, right? We did a few of the grammar stuffs as well, right? Noun and those kind of full stop punctuations, or maybe caps where it is required and stuff like that, or maybe the language itself, right? So those are the things which somebody will help you. So where do you find this someone? That's a big question, right? So you can decide where you want to find that particular person, at office, at home, outside, right? Or maybe you can. This is where you can approach, especially for crewmates in Desi crew, they can approach us, right? And so approach in the sense like when you have training, please join us. And so what will happen is like we will be able to help you, because if you have a journey, suppose you are having a journey right from 101 till 301, thereabout you will have close to 70 odd classes, which is huge. 70 hours we are talking about, right? So this 70 hours, if you invest in yourself, right, and do the task which is given, and work with us, and your language skills will definitely skyrocket, right? And then you can keep on improving outside as well. So this is what one can do, right? So this is definitely one. So writing can be, I definitely, as I said before, I went to Rashmi as well. This is one difficult aspect as well, right? Because the reason why it is difficult, speaking is like when you speak, no, I'm not saying it is easy, but it's not getting recorded anywhere, right? People can listen and see. Even speaking, there are many of us who speak. Whether are we grammatically correct? Are we able to use this stuff where we want to use and how we want to use? So that is again a different journey altogether. But writing is like if you have sent an email, it is there. If you have put something on the group in terms like official group, it is there, right? It is there, right? So this is what it is. So not saying that it's there and you should be scared, but it is a form which is there. So how you can improve this? Right, again, you definitely need a buddy for this. You need a trainer, or maybe you need someone who's better than you. It can happen that you can find someone, maybe probably um, your husband, maybe a crewmate who's married husband is really good to use their help, or maybe you're someone at home, right, outside, or someone, or maybe send it to someone, they will be able to rectify and give it to you. So that is what it is. So writing will definitely help in a big way. The reason is like because as because especially it depends on how much email we use and which crewmate uses how much. So that's another thing. But as we grow up the ladder, the corporate ladder, especially the leaders and others as well. Again, there are many who will not be required, who may not be asked to write, or maybe not required to write much, but it's always a handy skill to have, right? As they say, no, if today is a need, you can't go and do something. Tomorrow is a need. Today you can't start doing that. You need to start doing it well ahead, right? So this is one important thing, right? And also, see, in today's tool, modern tool, if you see, I hope Rashmi would have seen, no, when you write in Google an email, right, the Gmail I'm talking about, the Gmail itself will say, can I use this word? Can I use that
Yes,
word?
a suggestion, it will suggest words, and
It's
also it will correct also, correction also it will.
correction also. So that is a good way as well. That's a good tool you have. Apart from Grammarly and other thing, which is all paid, you can also find out what are the free ones, which will help you. There are a lot of there are a lot of free stuff which is available, right? So you can go and check that as well if it will be better than this. But always, like as we were mentioning, Rashmi also said, right, the Gmail itself will help, right? Write a sentence and see. The Gmail will tell you whether it's right or not, right? It will give you some correction, right? But it will not be 100% true, and sometime it can little bit become annoying as well. It is suggesting something, but I want to convey something. It is saying no, no, use this. It will show a red line. So that is because you know the language, and you can ignore that. But it's a good way to begin, right? And so this is the game. So this will complete the circle. So this will complete the circle in terms like your all the four facets. Again, when you write, right, it's all there because all the three other tasks is also connected. If you have listened to something, and then that is an input for you that will come out as in writing as well, right? If you're reading something, So that's a great input for you, which will help your writing as well. Because the more and more you read, the more and more your writing will keep on improving, right? It's all connected. As I said, our body is connected, right? So this is what it is. So these are the four facets. So we also spoke about Rashmi. So one can do it outside the class as well. Now we don't have, like last time as well we spoke, isn't it? So nobody is preventing them to do this thing outside the detached courses as well, isn't it? They can do it on their own. Do you think?
Yes, sir, we can do it our own because, eh, uh, for example, this English class, it will not be till the end of our this for uh, for 3 years or 1 year. It will
True.
not be there, right?
True.
This is only for 3 months. After that, we have to practice by our own.
Absolutely. So the more and more you do add yourself with these kind of tasks,
And sir,
right?
one more thing, I
Yeah.
remember that we were doing one. We are doing many activities in English class, but one that poster creation.
Yeah.
We will give one content, and they have to write for the that for that poster.
Yeah.
So it created more attractive writings there. I remember that Padmanabh sir and Rajeshwari ma'am, they were created one poster for writing. And one more thing, Ranvita, I remember her name. She used that repeated words,
Yeah.
rhyming words like that. She created one writing. It also, then finally she said, I also didn't aware that I have this talent, writing talent in me. So
True.
because of these tasks, because we have given only two or three to four topics, but because they practiced much, and because of their effort, they started doing it on their daily basis, or whenever they are getting free time, they started writing something. Ranvita, she herself, while I'm calling, I called her for inviting one session, but at that time she was resigned. But at that time we spoke. She's my colleague also, so I spoke with her. That time she told, because of English class, I started writing something,
That's
that rhyming thing.
That's great, actually. That's
Yes.
fabulous. And so, what Rashmi is also pointing out, see, uh, we over a period of time, almost like 3 years, we have seen, or maybe more than 2.5 years, there are many who come who say that my language ability is there, right? I can speak well, I can read well, I can. So, what else now? So, English is all about like other stuff as well. As Rashmi is pointing out, all the participants she mentioned, uh, as such, you don't need an English training. Correct, no, Rashmi? Even
Yes.
all they don't need an English training. But when they come, sometimes English is all about like when you put them into a group, so they might struggle to express themselves because not because of the language, because you are in front of others. So that is precisely what it is. And maybe you are able to write a good email, or maybe you're not writing much, but can if we give a topic, right? What do you think about this life? And we give them 300 words. So they sit and start thinking about that. Okay, let me use this. So how can I begin this? What are the things I want to add? What is that I really feel I want to share? Right? How do I want to end this one? What are the quotes I want to use? Right? What are the probably humor element if somebody wants to add a little bit of. So it becomes a different cup of tea altogether. So, meaning, like Rashmi said, like Ranvita, one example where she probably didn't know she can do this kind of rhyming stuff and other stuffs as well. And so, this is where the 301 caters to that. I'm sure all the courses, 301 is the highest level, especially as far as basic 2 is concerned. So, this is where those who think that I have the language ability, what else? What is that we will be able to do? Right? Because the time is limited. It's not like we have enormous time. We can do everything. We are working. We have this training within the company, and also everybody have to do the major task, which is also the work, right? Other than that, and so what is they can do? We can give them a lot of stuff, right? A lot of takeaway, a lot of new thoughts, and right. And so if you work on those things, your language will keep on getting better. You never know in today's avenue, right? Uh, uh, I think Sindhu once said there is a girl who learned Instagram 101 when I was doing the course. She is doing a lot of stuff on Instagram now, right? Which is monetary benefit as well. So you never know you have this language ability, how you can use this language ability, what you can do. There are a lot of other platforms as well. So this is one. So this is a classic example. And also just sticking just with the writing bit, one more thing, the the bigger writing stuff is a great thing, right? It's a great thing, and especially somebody have to invest time with you, right? Because if you have writing 300 words, if there are if you one writing is fine, but 10 writing, 15 writing, you need to have time. Somebody, that particular person have to invest time in you to go through the reading, to give you the correction, say what is good, say what can be better, say probably how you can what are the things which can be eliminated as well, meaning removed as well. So these are the things which will be able to do. So this covers the circle. Right. So there is one thing which we do. The English detached training is not like a kind of a classroom kind of a training. It is like, yes, it is a classroom, but it is ABL, which is activity based learning. Right. So Rashmi, you want to throw some light? What is activity based learning? So what are the? It's not like reading and stuff like that, listening to lectures.
Yeah, sir. In English class, it is not like Sarvanan sir is teaching, keep on teaching something, and students are listening. It's not like that. First, we are telling the basics things in one level. We will teach the basics level, what is English and what are the bottlenecks. Those things we teach for 1 or 2 sessions. After that, in the first session itself, we start interact with students. So we will ask them to introduce themselves, and in second session we will give one small activity, that is hypothetical questions, asking hypothetical questions. So it's a kind of activity, because we are not only captain is not talking there. Even the students, they will join, and they also participating in it, and they also with learning they are enjoying also. So not only these activities, also we are giving vocabulary words and listening activities. We will play one video, and based on their that video we will ask some questions in Google form. They have to listen that watch and listen that video carefully, and they have to answer the questions given in the Google form. And also we will, in 3 note level, we will show some pictures, and based on that pictures they have to create one story there, what they are seeing in that picture, and they have to relate that pictures into their story, and they have to create one story. Those things we do. And we will show the movies also, how movies will impact while to improve our language skills. And we will play songs in 101, all the 3 levels we play songs. And also free speech tasks. This task really improve our language, uh, create a impact on our language, to improve our language. And also in 301 level, we already mentioned that we will give one topic, and they have to create one story, or they have to write on that topic. These are the things we do. So this is all learn infotainment class.
Hmm.
So information
Absolutely.
plus learn a lot.
Absolutely. Very well summed up. Rashmi has summed up the entire thing what we do, right? So if you see that it is not something which is like a textbook kind of a thing. Okay, you have this chapter, that particular grammar, this, that, and all, right? And it's not like, as Rashmi also mentioned, it's not a one-way traffic, if you want to call everything coming from the trainer. No. So after the initial classes, it is all ABL, which I said, activity-based learning. How this? So one thing Rashmi spoke about, tools. What are the tools? Like the movies, or maybe songs, or maybe what they do, writing and stuff like that, or vocabulary. That's different. Another thing is like activity based in the sense like they are doing this stuff, right? When so you are in a class where you are actively involved in doing the tasks, which could be vocabulary, which could be like Rashmi mentioned, you will see in a small documentary or a video It will be a Google form, and then you'll share your thoughts, right? And so that is one. So you will probably see a movie, right? Just one, a small one, not the entire one, but you will give the feedback, right? Have you seen some movies, right? What kind of movies? What do you like, right? All getting into a kind of an chit chat kind of a mode, where over a period of time, participants become more and more comfortable, right? They want to share, they want to talk, they want to keep coming back to the training as well, and that is how it is. Yes, definitely in numbers we can, but there are many who come, right? And on a regular basis they come and learn. They're so eager, they are waiting, and when the course gets over, they get emotional as well, like there's no classes tomorrow and all. So activity based learning, so this is actually a big takeaway for everybody, especially the education system as well. Even when I keep inquiring about how it is happening in the current system, right? Especially the government schools, I'm not saying, right? It's definitely not, but definitely after that, saying that as well. Even in the private schools, it's not happening. Some of the top schools, they're not doing it, right? But there are some who are doing it, and you could see the change. See, if you're blessed, you're born at somewhere where your parents are well too in terms of language, they also speak in this language to you and stuff like that, automatic. But what is that school or college is giving to you as a takeaway, right? And this should be done early stages rather than the later stages. The more and more you do it at the early stage, the school itself, where they include this activity instead of reading, like Rashmi also mentioned, when my term comes reading. Okay, we have done the lesson, right? Why don't you all come up and share something about that, or do it as a kind of a task, or maybe talk about what do you like, why do you like, and those are the things which, if we do in the class, maybe small group and stuff like that, which doesn't happen because we have portions. We have to complete the portion, then we have to go to the next one, then the midterm, that term, and there are a lot of other things which is also making them tied up with that. So this is one objective of English course, definitely, because what they try and do is like, we can't undo what we didn't do. Whatever past is past, but in this limited number of classes, we try to bring in these activities into us, the learning system, which helps the participants, and you can do only to some extent, and that's what some extent we do it, and this is where, because it's a bit different, right? So Rashmi, if you can just go on mute, I can hear some
Yes.
noise. Yeah, so yeah, so this is precisely what we do, right? So we will definitely love to, so the attempt is not to ensure the participant, that's definitely always there, but these are the things which, even if you are outside the detach foray at this point of time, because detach is currently not happening, or maybe in between the detach, if you think 101 we have completed, 201 what we have to do, I've got 1 month or maybe 2 3 weeks, what I can do. So the more and more you remain in that zone, right, which is the English zone, which is not like too too much of stress for you, or maybe it's consuming so much of time. It could be a movie. Watch a movie. You can't have the entire movie at one go, or watch that. Okay, stop it where you want to watch the next time, and then go and do that. Read something on a regular basis. Write something. Be in touch with someone. Speak with someone. So these are the small things, and especially for our crewmates. So you can definitely come whenever we have the courses open, and then you can join. And one important thing is like, by doing all these things, one very important thing that happens, Rashmi, which is like they have the confidence, correct? So they build the confidence,
Yes, sir.
yeah. And so this is what it is, because they become very confident. We talk about it's a English course, okay, English meaning only English. No, when you do these kind of things, you get to believe in yourself, you get the confidence, you have the ability, you think that okay, language is something I've been speaking, right? I'm confident, I can interact with others, right? This is the same thing, I can carry it outside as well with others as well, and this is precisely what happens. Okay, so this two sessions, the previous week and this week, is an attempt to again rekindle or rebring the aspects, very important aspect which never changes. It's always the same, very simple and few very common things, and this is precisely what it is. and that is what we have tried, and we have brought, and we will come back. When we come back next week and the following week, we can bring in other aspects as well. So Rashmi, again, thank you very much, right? And so for being on part, and these are the chit chat. I'm sure it is also benefiting you in a big way, and right. So, and also thank you very much. Srilekha is there somewhere. I know she is busy with other
No,
stuff.
no, busy. I'm here
Sir,
only.
I hope
Yeah,
next
I'll be
week.
listening.
Yeah, yeah. So, Srilekha, anything you want to add or share? You're most welcome.
So nothing, Rashmi and Sarna sir, as usual. So I've been hearing you. So I mean, not only Sarna sir, Rashmi is also sharing little small tips with us, like how we can slowly improve and how she's. I mean, things around us, she's making benefit of this and she's utilizing it. So that's what I observe whenever she shares her experience, like how she's trying to improve her thing. Instead of taking a special time and things, when the availability time, how to make use of it, Rashmi is planning well. That's what I felt it like. Yeah.
That's a very good observation, and that is precisely what it is, and fabulous. And it's same for everybody. That is there. Rashmi, you wanted to add something? You wanted to say something? You
Sir,
want?
no, you said right next week we are coming. So I hope you are coming next week to Kapu, right?
Yeah,
One.
yeah, definitely. I believe Srilekha. So I'm sure we will visit the center as well, right? So
Yes, yes, yes. We are coming on 4th. We are coming to come. We'll be visiting center on 4th.
Oh,
brilliant. So fourth,
So
we will.
first time we all will be meeting, no, Rashmi?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Eagerly waiting to meet you, Sunil
Ye-
and Ishra.
Me also and Ishad also.
Oh, Isha, this backside, she's the
Yes,
one who's
yes,
sitting there.
yes.
Okay.
There are a lot of crewmates, personally, like Sri Lanka, I also know from Kapu, and I never met Yashashvi and Rashmi. Definitely looking forward, and a lot of Trisha, we saw in the other stuff. Irshad never met, and a lot of crewmates otherwise as well. So it will be good to catch up with everybody, and it will be good. And new place actually, never been to that deep in Karnataka, and I'm not too sure about Udupi and all. We will not get opportunity to go.
Yeah, I'm
So,
eagerly waiting to meet few RJs also, like Sanya, Karthik, and all is there, right?
Yes,
Mohammed. So these are the
Sanya is
few.
working in night shift, but she will come. I don't know about that.
Yeah, but Sanya used to be in day also, no?
No, ma'am.
She leave little
She's
early.
working from home and she works at night shift.
Oh, okay. Definitely, we are waiting. Just 1 week, 10 days to go.
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So definitely we'll have our task cut out when we are there at Kapu. I'm sure there are a lot of sharing and chit chat and happy stuff as well, which will be definitely everybody's looking forward. So
Yes.
great. So it is beyond one, and I promised we'll play a lot of songs, at least three, but we played only one. But we will stop at this. So we'll save this song for another time, right? And so what we will do is like thank you again, definitely DC Live team, Sri Lanka, who's always so supportive, right? And there as well with us, and Rashmi, and I'm sure this is going to a lot of other listeners as well, who would have got benefited. So English is not any rocket science. It's only the basic things if you do from your end, tiny things, and which will help you to build in a big way. And believe me, everybody's learning. Even I'm learning every day, right? So this is not our something which anybody can master of. And so this tiny thing will help everybody, all the crewmates, us, and the company as well. And that is why this is there, a part of our teachers course as well. Thank you again, everybody. I wish everybody a happy afternoon, and we'll see you again soon with this similar sort of session very soon. And take care, everybody. Thank you again. Bye bye.